They're coming. Where do I go? God, I gotta get out of here.
They're surrounding the house. Felix, what do we do?
I need to get to the car.
Felix, don't leave me.
Fine, just run.
Where?
I don't know. Get off of me.
Let go of him. Let
Get
go.
off.
Oh, now. Let's not hurt that pretty voice of yours. These are under my control, not yours. You deal with him.
No, stop. Don't.
Come now. You've been more than patient. Fine. The hard way.
Welcome to the Beating Heartland, created by Denver Baughman.
Episode 28, The Surgery.
I'm back. Sorry for the wait. I was... Where were we?
Are you doing okay?
Never better. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
You don't... Right. Yeah, you don't... I forgot. How do you think you should feel?
Terrified, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Let's keep going. I need you to, Sorry, is there someone in the room next to us?
I don't believe so.
Okay, good. I just thought I felt... Where were we?
Denver, what's...
Don't be my therapist right now. Okay? Please. I just need the story. Let's finish that first.
Okay. I told you about the puppets breaking in. They knocked us unconscious. After that, I woke up in a cement room. Felix was beside me, still passed out. Where are we? Felix? Felix, wake up! Felix!
I'm awake.
What is... Did they drug you?
I'm fine.
Felix, where are we?
This looks like a hospital.
Hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Felix, what was that?
Huh?
How did the doctor take control of you?
I don't know.
When did he work on you?
I don't want to talk to you.
Great, okay. What do I do? Okay. Felix, listen to me.
Yeah.
Tell me how the doctor worked on you.
I don't remember.
Answer me.
I don't remember.
It's in there somewhere. Tell me. Find it.
I was sick. I was 11 or 12 last time I was sick.
What?
I don't get sick. Not anymore. All growing up, no one paid much attention to me. My parents both worked and were busy, and even when they weren't, they ignored me. They were gone most of the day, and when they got home, they didn't have much energy for little things like family. Even the babysitters didn't really like me. I guess I just talked their ears off. I loved sharing weird facts I'd learned or gossip I'd heard about people I spied on. I guess I thought the more intelligent I sounded, the more people would like me. I guess I wanted to feel seen. But I was easy to ignore. Compared to all my brothers and sisters, I was pretty easy. I got lost in the crowd, so to speak. So when I was actually sick, very sick, it took them a while to realize. They told me to tough it out. I'd be fine. I tried to push through, but I kept getting worse, and no one seemed to care. In the morning, I couldn't get out of bed. My whole body shook. I felt like my insides were burning, and I started hallucinating. Traumatic memories came to life in my room. My brothers bullying me, my dad hitting me, other worse things. And then there were the shadows moving around. They had distorted mouths. I could hear them whispering and laughing and teasing me. They swirled around my bed. 2 of them pinned my arms down. I couldn't move. And then I saw the face of my sister, Lisa, peeking through the dark. She never made fun of me. She always took the time to notice and listen to me. She convinced Mom and Dad to take me to the hospital, that I needed help. I only remember the bumpiness of the road while Mom drove. The shadows still clung to me, kept pestering me, trying to convince me to just let go, to fade away. We arrived at the hospital, and it felt like the lights were so bright they blinded me. I heard muffled voices, not the shadows, but the doctors and nurses. I was placed on a bed in a room with over a dozen people, all sick, coughing and moaning, dying. It felt like we were all animals in line for a butcher, and the shadow still clung to me, whispering in my ear, telling me I was about to die. Then he was there, the doctor, looking down at me, smiling. I heard him promise to fix me, that I would be better than before. They placed something over my mouth, and everything went black. When I woke up, I was in so much pain. I screamed, and I could see a head silhouetted by a very bright light. I tried to squirm and escape, but I was locked down, tightly bound to a cold metal table. I strained my head to try and look down. I could see my stomach, sliced open, blood on the tools. I remember him laughing. He was laughing at my screams. They didn't try to put me under again. They just left me screaming while the doctor worked on my stomach. I passed out from the pain. I woke up in a private room. I couldn't remember where I was. I moved, which ached, and I looked at my body. It seemed fine. My arm hurt a lot. It felt weird, different. I figured I was just groggy, but even after that, my arm sometimes just didn't feel like it was mine, like it was listening to someone else. I went in and out of consciousness several times. I remember hearing my parents arguing with the doctor. He wanted to keep me at the hospital longer and make sure I was doing okay. He had more tests he wanted to check, and my parents disagreed, saying I was taking up enough of their time as it was. He wanted to do some scans to ensure nothing else was wrong, and my parents declined again. He was impatient with them, and he hid it behind a false smile. But my parents finally won, and they took me home. I remember the doctor staring at me as we left, and I could see a hunger in his eyes. He wasn't done with me. And then he...
Felix? Felix!
Oh, good. You're both awake. I see he's feeling good.
What are you doing to him?
Oh, that. A little pain gets the blood flowing.
Let him go!
What do you care? He hates you. I can feel it.
You're hurting him!
There's pain in making us perfect. It's just part of the process.
Please!
Fine. How did I forget about you? No, look at me. There we go. Your mind is fascinating. So much you want to know, to learn. You thought you had a chance to stop us. It's cute. There's so much life in your eyes. I've never really been able to keep that in the others. Leave us, Felix. I need to talk with my sister.
No!
Leave us!
Yes, sir.
Felix, you don't need to listen to him. You don't need to... Stay here. Stay with me. Felix, stay!
Don't try to command him here. This is my domain. Besides, do you really believe that staying is a more compelling option to him? Leave, have some well-earned privacy, rest, or stay with the person who shattered his trust and caused all of this.
I didn't.
Silence! I'm the one in charge here. This is my hospital. See, I don't even need your stupid little power to control.
Are you going to kill me?
No. Of course I won't kill you. You're one of the family. I just want you to remember.
I do. I remember.
Not just pieces. Everything.
Why?
Because you belong with us. And you've been running for too long. We're a family. If you could only remember, you'd see that helping us is the right way. You've been neglecting the greater purpose. Neglecting Father's needs.
I don't want to.
It's not yours to decide. Come with me.
So why did he bring you there? Why didn't he just kill you?
Something about wanting to torture me with my memories? Wanted to bring up past trauma. Maybe he wanted to do that and then turn me into a puppet. I don't know.
You don't know?
No, sorry. That part's a bit of a blur. Everything happened so fast.
Why was Felix mad at you? You said he didn't want to talk to you at first, but then he did. Why?
We got into an argument before all of this happened. We were trying to solve everything to help you. I'm not sure if you were even alive or if you were already locked away in prison. There were a lot of emotions, a lot of tension.
Huh. Okay. So what did he do? The doctor.
He tied up my arms and led me through several hallways. I followed behind, looking for a chance, a moment to escape. The place was a maze. We'd take turns, which should have brought us back to where we'd already been, but ended up in a different part of the building. As we went deeper into the hospital, it got dingier, more wrong. Floors became uneven, lights flickered a sickly yellow light. The farther we went, the more comfortable the doctor seemed to become. He led me to a large metal door. On the other side, I heard muffled moans and coughs. He placed a key card in a slot, and the door opened with a buzz, and we walked in. There were about 30 beds in the room. On all the beds, there were people in various stages of illness and need. They moaned and coughed and mumbled to themselves. The doctor paused and looked around the room. He smiled, closed his eyes, and listened. It tastes so good. And soon all of this will be wiped away, and they will be perfect. I take away their pain, their sickness. I make them as they should be, obedient, healthy, pliable. But we leave the fear. We have to leave the fear. It drives them, keeps them obedient. No pain, no suffering, but a constant buzz of fear in their minds keeps them docile. To prove his point, he lowered down to be close to one of the patients. She was old, her skin was wrinkly and dotted with dark splotches. Her eyes were closed, but almost feeling his presence, they opened and widened in shock at his smiling face. She screamed. It rattled the lights, and soon others joined in. Their screaming became frenzied, and some of the patients started to thrash and writhe on their beds, kept down by metal clamps around their arms and legs. The doctor chuckled and stood. "See," he said. "They're scared of just looking at you. Train them right, and they will fear their master. Fear is the perfect motivator, the perfect way to keep people obedient. And it tastes so good." He began to walk across the room and motioned for me to follow. As I walked, a hand grabbed me by the wrist. I spun, yanking my hand away, and looked down. She was young. She couldn't have been older than 12. Her face was pale and her eyes were bloodshot. She frowned. tears in her eyes, and she said with a hoarse whisper, "Please." I knelt, looking into her eyes directly, and I smiled. "Shh, it's okay. It's going to be okay." She smiled. I hadn't realized that it worked. It helped. She gave me a small smile and her body relaxed. My head snapped back. The doctor yanked me by the hair. I choked and collapsed to the ground. The girl screamed and the doctor chuckled. No, not here. These are mine." He pulled me to my feet and pushed me along. The girl was still screaming when the door closed behind me. "You've got a mothering streak in you. Funny." We continued to walk through the hospital, and at one point, we arrived at a hallway that seemed to spiral downward. There were no doors, no windows, just a spiral down, 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 until we reached 2 doors. I heard crying. The doors were old, dark wood on rusted hinges. One was open, the wood creaking softly. The doctor frowned and hurried towards it, closing it with a snap, but not before I caught a glimpse of what was inside. There was a crib. A single crib, old and rickety, slowly rocking in the middle of the room. The crying was coming from the crib. It was sick and garbled, and I could tell that whatever baby was inside was close to death. The walls of the room were blackened with soot and ash. I could feel an unnatural heat emanating from within. "They keep forgetting to close the door. I'll punish them later." He smiled and ushered me through the second door. I almost threw up when I entered the room. The smell of rotting flesh made me convulse. There were dozens of bodies in the room. Some were intact, others just a torso, sometimes a limb. There was a pile in the corner of body parts. On the desk, there was a head, completely shaven, with lifeless, pale eyes staring at the door. "My workshop," the doctor said with pride. He walked towards the center, where a rusty metal table stood. Above it, tools and equipment dangled from chains for easy access. He turned. "Sit." I wanted to turn and run. "Sit." I walked over to the table and sat. He smiled. "Time to come home." He pushed me down and fastened my hands to the table. Then he tied my head down with straps. I was forced to look up into the light. He took little metal hooks and pried my eyes open so I couldn't close them. He didn't reach for any tools. He just stared for a moment. Then he closed his eyes and placed a hand on my chest. The light began to pulse, and a high-pitched sound reverberated in my ears, splitting my head. I thought the room began to shake, but it might have just been my eyes vibrating with the light and sound. He was mumbling. I couldn't tell what he was saying, and I think it was a different language. His eyes shifted under his eyelids frantically, and his hand shook on my chest. Sweat beaded on his forehead. The light shook violently, and I saw things, images in the light, memories, people, forgotten pasts. Everything was flowing into my mind. The good, but mostly the bad. Mistakes, horrifying encounters, loss, betrayal. They were all me. They felt like me. They shared my brain, my soul. It all intertwined and filled my brain. They had always been there, hiding in the back, but now everything was moving to the front. I was them. I'd done those things. It hurt. It was too much information. I was losing my grip on myself, who I was, and I screamed, "No, stop, please!" The doctor's hand jumped off my chest, and his eyes snapped open. The light stopped pulsating, and the high-pitched noise disappeared. He glared and reached his hand back towards me. "Let me go!" I screamed. The next bit is fuzzy, but I remember the bonds falling off, and then I was running away from the room.
He just let you go?
I don't know, but I managed to escape somehow. I was dazed and disoriented, but I kept running through the maze of hallways and doors. I didn't know where I was going, and I didn't care. I needed to escape. I heard voices, people looking for me. I pushed past a nurse who tried to grab me. I was nearing an exit. I could feel it. I rushed through a door, and it was a dead end. I turned around, and the door was gone. I spun and looked for another way out, but there wasn't any. Inside the room, there were corpses. Hundreds of them. Some had been there for years. Others seemed fresh. They weren't like the ones in the doctor's workshop. These were infants. They weren't taken apart with clean surgical cuts. They'd been eaten. The carnage was messy. Some of their skin was sunken and wrinkled like raisins. I closed my eyes. It was awful. I could almost hear their cries. I was trapped in this horrifying room. I gave up hope of ever escaping. Then I felt you. I can't explain it, but I knew you were listening. Near. And I looked up, tears pouring, and cried, "Denver, help."
You did. You did. I heard you.
Really?
Yeah, I did. It was weird.
And you came.
As soon as I could. What happened after that? After you shouted my name?
As I said it, I turned. Suddenly the door was back, and it was open. You were standing on the other side.
What?
You were wearing the same outfit you'd worn during our last meeting. That stupid faded shirt. The one with the show you never could shut up about in your letters.
That wasn't me.
You smiled and reached out your hand. Trembling, I stood and took it. You didn't say anything, just stared and smiled. And then I knew it wasn't you. There was a cold behind those eyes, a different person looking out. They're different now, too.
My eyes?
It's you. I know you're you. But something's changed. What happened to you? Why haven't you told me?
I'll explain. I promise. I'll explain. What did the fake me do?
He noticed my step back, my realization, and his smile grew wide. He placed a hand around my throat. His grip tightened and he laughed. His form shifted. His skin bubbled and smoked, turned a sickly gray, and plastered to the skull. The body shrank until he was almost entirely skin and bone. His eyes became deep red, sunken in the loose skin of the eye sockets. The room shook. A feeling of power washed into me, and I could feel him rooting around in my mind, feeling my lives. His form shifted rapidly, becoming all of my past lives, and then he became me. It was perfect. She smiled. Time to sleep. Everything went black.
Anything else?
No, not before you showed up. I don't think so.
Okay. Where was Felix during all of this?
I don't know. I didn't see him after the doctor forced him to leave the room.
Okay. Ariadne, what was your argument about?
What?
Felix and you, you argued. What was it about?
You know.
I suspected. Ever since the letter, didn't know much about them at the time, the family. But after, it's the only thing that makes sense. The different bodies, the powers, the ability to make any of us talk, do things. I've felt your pull the entire time I've been here.
I haven't been...
Sure, not consciously, no. But you do it. Always. Therapy now... Maybe that's why I still want to talk to you, Is the hotel manager an anomaly?
What?
You're different. I know you're different from the rest of their family. I believe that. You act differently. You feel different. are you?
Not always.
I don't want to hear about them. I don't care. I don't. You as you are now, are you different?
Would you believe me?
Yes, I don't. Tell me. Is all this just a lie?
Let's record this for posterity, shall we? I don't want people to miss this.
Please. Please don't. Please. I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
And you never will be again. Bite down. It's going to hurt. Good boy. There we go. Time to finish what I started.
The Beating Heartland was written by Denver Baughman. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review us on whatever streaming platform you are using. Follow us online at The Beating Heartland. Thank you for listening.